All right, so once again, the rumors of Derek Carr has been going back up again of him being traded probably after this season. Polish June 1st. After Nick Hunter was doing one of his live streams, little clips where he was just talking about the Saints and their quarterback situation, and he mentioned Derek Carr was going to request a trade before until the Saints, and him and the Saints decided to agree on a restructure of his contract, which would further pay him his money down the road. And that quote on what he said has been getting aggregated and curated on multiple outlets, social media pages, and all that. But that's something that we already know. A lot of people that follow the Saints already know about Derek Carr wanting to be traded prior to the team restructuring his deal. Now, if you listen to what Hill was saying, a while back, he said that the contract was already that Carr and the team, the writing on him about him restructuring his deal was already in the contract, but he really wanted to demand a trade from the team, man. But the team felt as though he gives them the best option of winning football games and competing for the NFC South. Now, what's interesting about this is that, Carr is not talking at all. He's not been on social media. He's not been in the city. He wasn't in the city during the Super Bowl. Nothing. He wasn't in it. He hasn't been involved in all the festivities. Hasn't been featured on the Saints YouTube channel. I think the only thing that they've mentioned with Derek Carr was his birthday. They mentioned they made a happy birthday post on their Twitter account and probably on the other social media platforms that concern the Saints official Saints social media pages. But that leaves it up for discussion, for questioning. Derek Carr has been MIA since then, and he has not come out and rebuffed those rumors, speak against the rumors about him being traded. He has not said anything. So, if you ask me, I think this is coming from the advice of an agent. It's coming from the advice of an agent. You don't want to be there, fine. Just don't say nothing. Don't talk about the team. Don't try to shoot down the rumors. Just let it fly. But it's almost certain, in my opinion, that the Saints are trying to find a quarterback in the future between this year's draft and next year's draft. They really are trying to find the next guy. And it would be beneficial if they could find that guy in this year's draft, if possible. If Kellen Moore could find a guy in the second and third rounds where he believes he can develop that guy into an NFL starter. It would be, because that way you got Carr Bridge. After this upcoming season, you can let Carr go and really start building his team up around a young quarterback. If that doesn't work out, you start all over again next season and next year's draft. But the Saints are looking for a quarterback. That's one thing for sure. They're looking to find the next guy. They've had dinners and meetings with guys like Quinn Ewers, Will Howard. I think they've talked to Kyle McCord, Jackson Dart, Cam Ward. They've met with as well. They were also had Cam Ward's pro day. There has been even talk about the Saints moving up to take Cam Ward. They've talked to Shedeur Sanders. Even Coach Prime mentioned the Saints as one of those teams where he doesn't have an issue with him going to. So the Saints are indeed in the market for more. And that pretty much signifies that Derek Carr's tenure is pretty much going to be over after the season. Now, would there be a team out there that would be interested in Derek Carr? Like the Pittsburgh Steelers, who is still waiting on Aaron Rodgers to make his decision? It's possible. But just keep this in mind that if you trade Derek Carr now, the Saints going to be on the hook for that $57 million, that $50 million cap charge today money. Right now. You trade Derek Carr post June 1st to the Steelers, that money is spread out. And that relieves you of some caps troubles this season. But by that time in June, you have the cap money, the extra cap money, but who are you going to spend it on? So it'd be wise, if you do go that route, save that money that you have now, and if you decide to trade Derek Carr post June 1st, let that money roll over into next season's cap, and really have some options to build this team up. And right now, I think they've done a solid job of the talent they've brought in so far. My only gripe with the team is what we did off the defensive line. Pretty much bringing those guys back, the same guys back you had from last year. Minus Devin Gotcha to this team. But we'll see how it all play out. They think it was just an issue of coaching. We'll see how everything will look with Brandon Staley and the new defensive line coach. But with Derek Carr wanting to trade prior to the extension is something that we already know about. A lot of us know about. Mike Florio brought it up. Todd McShay brought it up in this podcast. O'Neal brought it up in the story when it was announced a while back. But Derek Carr, it looks like the optics indicate that Derek Carr still wants to be traded, despite getting a restructure and his money is $40 million he's going to be getting paid this upcoming season. He still wants to be traded. But if he doesn't, you just have to just deal with it. Just deal with it. You're getting paid a lot of money for this upcoming season, and after this upcoming season, the Saints can move on from you. So there's that. But it's going to be interesting to see how it's all going to play out these next couple of weeks leading up to the NFL draft. Is there a chance that something could happen on the night of the draft where they decide to move Derek Carr, eat this dead money for this upcoming season? I doubt it. We'll see how it all play out, man. But I think I wouldn't be surprised if you start to hear the Pittsburgh Steelers being interested in Derek Carr if Aaron Rodgers decides to retire instead of playing for them this upcoming season. Me personally, I think the Steelers should just go ahead. And I'm not the one to advocate for teams having a bad year just to get a high draft pick. But Steelers may need to go in and do that, man. They just do. Take the medicine, play hard 1 year, bottom out. Still show effort in games, but bottom out 1 year, take the medicine, and position yourself at least position yourself to get a top 5 draft pick and find a quarterback for that football team. Because the Steelers have been getting the same results over and over since Ben Roethlisberger retired. And I think it will continue that way with Derek Carr if they decide to pursue those avenues. But don't be surprised if you start to hear those rumors of Derek Carr and the Pittsburgh Steelers being mentioned in the same sense. Because believe it or not, Derek Carr has a market. He does have a market. I know the Titans are going to take. I think the Titans are going to take him, or the Giants got Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson. I think they're going to take Shedeur. The Browns could be an option. So there are some teams out there going to be interested in Derek Carr. So we'll see. That's all I have for y'all for right now. Give me a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. What are your takes on the situation? Check out sportsview360.com for these content on the All Saints organization. Have a blessed day. Peace.